Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to do an overview and unboxing of my new laptop, which is the HP Spectre x360. This is the late 2019 edition where they added the new display, which is an OLED display. And that's part of the reason why I got it, is because I think this laptop is one of the best value ultrabooks and convertibles that you can get on the market right now. So yeah, let's take a look. The box, by the way, this is new HP's new logo, which is really kind of modern and sleek. And this is the Spectre is their top of the line laptops, or they compete with the Dell XPS line. So yeah, this is what we have. We have the HP Spectre x360, and take that out for now. We'll talk about that in a bit. We have the setup instructions right here. Nothing too special. And then we also have, this is a smallish travel sized charger. This is the main charger that it comes with, but it's very nice because I think it's definitely good for traveling, and it's power cord. So yeah, definitely a big change from the old laptops of the past where we had to carry these gigantic chargers, right? This one's a pretty nice size. And this actually comes with a pen, so this is a pretty good deal considering that a lot of convertibles like the Microsoft Surface Book, for example, does not come with a pen in the box. You have to buy it separately. So it's nice that I think the Dell XPS 13 2-in-1 doesn't come with a pen either. You have to buy it separately, but it's nice that the HP Spectre does come with a pen inside the box. And I think they have a more premium pen as well, but it's cool that it does come with a basic pen. There's some added value right there. I think these are, I have to look at these later. I'm not sure what those are for yet. Then the instructions for the pen, the battery. I think this might be a quadruple A. Yeah, it's a quadruple A battery. But definitely you can keep on reusing them. So it's not a rechargeable battery. You can't recharge the pen, but at least you can keep putting batteries inside of it. All right, so let's take a look at the laptop itself. This laptop is very small. The size is just pretty incredible considering it's a 13-inch laptop. All right, here we go. So yeah, I really like the color. This is Sidon blue. So I know maybe it doesn't show up very well in the video, but this is not black. They have another nightfall black color, but this is actually the blue color. This is the Sidon blue color. And yeah, what strikes me is just the size of this laptop. It's super small for a 13-inch laptop, which is very nice. I mean, if you see my videos for the Porsche Design Book 1, right, it's quite a bit bigger. Actually, I'll do a comparison with that one later. The Porsche Design Book 1 or even the MacBook Pro 13, right, they're definitely bigger than this laptop, even though they have the same screen real estate. So it's actually pretty amazing what HP has managed to fit inside this space. This is a very, very nice portable laptop, very small, very slim, and very light as well. It's about 2.8 pounds. So let's look at the ports on the side. We have a headphone jack, and we have the power button actually on the side here. So this is using what HP calls the gem cut design, which means that they actually managed to put some ports on the angular corners here, which is something that you don't really see in other laptops. But HP puts it in the side here, that's kind of unique to the Spectre line, I think. I don't think any other laptops do that, but the HP Spectre, they have this gem cut design, which is really nice here. For the past few generations, they've had this feature. So yeah, they have the power button right here, the side, and then they have headphone jack, and they have this full-size USB-A port, which is, they have this kind of cover on it, and that's to make it smaller, I suppose. So instead of like a full-size square or rectangular USB-A port, they have this cover here, which actually reduces the thickness. So it's a very nice way of implementing that while keeping that full size for us. It's great. A lot of laptops like the Dell XPS, they don't come with that anymore. So it's great that the HP keeps it. and keeps it slim. And then we have a micro SD card slot right here, and a webcam. This is a webcam kill switch. So this is killing the webcam in this position, and then in this position the webcam is on. Now a lot of people might like this feature because they're concerned about privacy issues, about people hacking into their webcams and stuff. I'm personally not that concerned because I don't really know or care why people would hack into my webcam to look at me, because I'm not really an important person, but some people do have that concern, so that does alleviate that concern. It's a hardware kill switch for the webcam. Then you got two Thunderbolt 3 ports, I believe. I think they're Thunderbolt 3. I might have to double check, but I hope they're not just USB-C. But anyways, either of these can be used for charging, so that's really convenient for those of us who want to charge everything via USB-C. You can do that, and I have to double check, but I think they're Thunderbolt 3 as well, so you can connect a display, which makes sense because this doesn't come with any HDMI or video out port, so it just makes sense for that to be Thunderbolt 3. And yeah, this is a very nice keyboard. I like this much better than the Dell XPS 13-201, which is probably the main competitor for this computer. A lot of people are going to be comparing the Dell XPS 13-201, the new one, right, with this one, and I like this one better. I think the keyboard is one of the reasons I like to have travel. The new Dell XPS 13-201 has a maglev keyboard, which is very similar to the MacBook Pro butterfly switches, which I don't like because they don't have enough travel. Fingerprint sensor here, very decently sized trackpad. It's not super big or anything, but it's not super small either. It's just nicely sized. You got, of course, Core i7 10th gen, which is an Ice Lake processor. Ice Lake, the main benefits is that it comes with the Intel Iris Plus upgraded graphics, which means it actually competes with the NVIDIA MX150, 250 GPUs. So this can actually play some decent games at low settings, I suppose. But in any case, it can be equivalent to entry-level NVIDIA GPU, which is not something I can say for the previous Intel graphics, right? Previously, Intel graphics are just like a joke. They can't really compete with anyone. So the fact that Ice Lake processors bring the graphics up to par with the NVIDIA's entry-level graphics is actually something, right? And this display, of course, is gorgeous. This is a 4K OLED display, and I'll actually show you guys a little bit later about how this performs as well. And that's another main reason I chose the HP Spectre is over the Dell, is because I really like this OLED display. Dell does not have an OLED option. I know that Dell has a 16:10 aspect ratio, which is better than this one. This is 16:9. It would have been nice if HP went to a 16:10 aspect ratio as well, but they kept it 16:9. But they have the OLED option, and I chose to have OLED over 16:10. Some of you may disagree with that and think that the 16:10 is, you know, worth keeping the WLED, but I prefer to have the better display qualities and contrast ratio of the OLED over the slightly more vertical aspect ratio. The bezels are very, very small, so like with this generation, HP reduced a lot of its bezels, so you can see that there's almost no bezels on the side here, and the webcam is there, but it's very, very small. And actually, let me flip it, because of course this is a convertible, and I can flip it like this. It's very nice, 2.8 pounds, so it's yeah, it's very nice and easy to carry, a lot easier than my Porsche design, which weighs like 3.7 pounds. But yeah, you can see the webcam here. It's here. It's just really tiny. It's this tiny webcam here, but it's there. So it's better than being on the bottom, which a lot of bezel-less or infinity edge displays have done. With the new generation, it looks like Dell and HP have managed to put the webcam up there and back where in a better viewing angle for people, right? You don't want to have the webcam down here sticking up your nostrils, right? So yeah, this is the new HP Spectre x360 from late 2019. In my opinion, this is the best value ultrabook on the market, not just convertible. This is the best value ultrabook on the market, because I'm going to do a few comparisons for you guys, and I did a lot of shopping around. This computer, like, it just has the best value. no comparison really to the next one. And so the pen is, it's a magnetic. I would like to see well, maybe the bezels are too, the lid's probably too thin to even have anywhere where it can stick on, right? Maybe it can. Nope. Nope, doesn't look like it sticks anywhere. Kind of a shame because the Surface Book and the Porsche design does that. Okay, well, I'm not sure where to put this pen. And the ThinkPad X1 Yoga actually had the pen inside here. So yeah, this is gonna be my first OLED laptop since my X1 Yoga way back in 2016. And you know, I love going back to OLED again. This time, of course, we have a much better display with a 4K resolution, which trumps my X1 Yoga. That one had I think a 2K resolution. Yeah, this one is full 4K, and it's almost pretty much bezel-less. So the design is a lot better. I really love this design. This nice gem cut design. It's very, very elegant. Looks very premium. Right, it has the Spectre kind of logo on the back, on the hinge here. Yeah, it's very beautifully designed, and I love this color pairing. It's blue and gold, or champagne-ish. I love this color pairing. Looks so premium. But yeah, so the laptop folded 180 degrees, and this is a so-called tent mode. And so one thing that it doesn't do, like the X1 Yoga, one advantage that the ThinkPad X1 Yoga and only the X1 Yoga has is the ability for the keyboard to retract back into the, or rather for the keys to retract back into the keyboard when you flip it like this. And it's called the ThinkPad lift-in lock, and later they changed it to a wave keyboard design. And I think the ThinkPad X1 Yoga was the only laptop that did that. None of the other convertibles on the market did that. So again, the problem with some of having the keys exposed, in my opinion, I've been using a lot of convertibles, including on the Porsche design as well, is when you have the keyboard exposed like this, you have it in presentation mode / stand mode, whatever they call this, some of the keys may hit your lap accidentally, and it may trigger some accidental key presses on the computer. And I've had this happen to me a lot before, where I'm just sitting in bed, I'm watching the computer like this, and due to the keyboard, the keys being exposed, it actually triggers some accidental key presses, which I don't like, right? So, I mean, the only laptop, again, that has the keyboard has the keys fold into the keyboard is the X1 Yoga, or rather the keyboard rises to meet the keys, to keep it flush so that the keys aren't accidentally hit. So that's one unique design the X1 Yoga has that the other convertibles don't have. Really wish other convertibles would have a similar design, but no. Maybe it's patented, that's why. Anyways, yeah, this is it. 360 degrees, you can see there's still a gap. So it's not folding flush again, but the only convertible that really folds flush is the Porsche design, which is not a very common convertible. Most of the convertibles, they have kind of a gap here. Yeah, but that's fine, right? It's not a huge deal to have the keyboard sticking out and not having it flush, because that's most convertibles, right? Just minor gripes. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys a few of my comparisons and show you guys why this is such a good value. All right, guys, so here's the little chart I made of all the ultrabooks I was looking at in late 2019. And as you can see from this chart here, the HP Spectre x360 13, which was the laptop we just looked at, it's on top here. And yeah, if you do this spec comparison, I try to spec them out about the same so we get a fair price comparison here. They mostly all have 10th gen processors, except for the business laptops, which are stuck at 8th gen because Intel hasn't added vPro to 10th gen processors yet. So for those laptops, I think those manufacturers think that it's more important for business users to have the vPro on the 8th gen. So that's why they're still stuck on 8th gen. The other ones, consumer laptops, are mostly 10th gen. I try to keep the RAM at 16 gigs, the SSD at around 512 gigabyte, so that it's a more fair comparison. Yeah, the X360 13, the only one on this list with an OLED display, by the way. So that's a huge plus. It's also the cheapest on here, which is what I mean when I say that the X360 13 is the best value out of all these at only $1,300. This is the cheapest laptop on here, also the only one with an OLED display, also top specs, decent number of ports, and convertible. So just going through the different options, the Dell XPS 13201 is probably the main competitor. Problem with this one, doesn't have an OLED display, it does have the 16:10 aspect ratio, which is nice. But yeah, it doesn't have the OLED display, and also it's more expensive, and it's missing a USB-A port. So that is kind of a big deal for someone who doesn't like to use dongles like me. Yeah, so that's why I put it below here. Surface Laptop 3, again, good computer, but it's not quite as, doesn't really offer anything outstanding in terms of the features, not convertible or anything. So it's not really an option, I think, at least not comparable to the Dell or the HP. Dragonfly Elite is HP's business laptop, that's just kind of their business version of the X360. The selling point of this one is that it's only 2.2 pounds. It's extremely light, which is a really good thing, right? I think this might be the lightest, or among the lightest convertibles on the market. I think the Fujitsu also is slightly lighter, but this one, good amount of ports, 4K display, doesn't have an OLED option. The problem is the price is like $1,000 more for the same specs, right? So you're talking about $1,000 more for the same specs as the X360, so I can't really justify that. That's the main problem with the Dragonfly Elite. The X1 Yoga, in a bit of a different category because it's 14 inches, not 13 inches like the rest. But if you're looking for a 14-inch convertible, then I think the X1 Yoga would be the way to go. The ZenBook Edition 30 is kind of a limited edition laptop I was looking at as well. Very good number of ports. Also has dedicated graphics as a MX 250, I believe. So it's an entry level comparable to the Ice Lake, or probably actually better than the Ice Lake because it's more optimized. But yeah, it doesn't have the 4K display and not convertible either. Then if you look at the Razer Blade Stealth, also probably the same problem as the Asus ZenBook, right? So this one also doesn't have the 4K and not convertible. Then the Vio, this one I think is more, it's also more suited to business users because it has like a whopping 9 ports for being 12 inches. So that's a lot of ports in like a really compact size. But I think the problem with this one was that other than the weight and the number of ports, there's really nothing else special about it. And it's also running an 8th gen processor. So the price is pretty decent though. Then if you look at the Fujitsu, it's just too expensive. Again, just the same problem with the HP Dragonfly Elite. It's too expensive for what it does. There's nothing really special that makes it stand out. And then you have the MacBook. Well, the problem with the MacBook is it only has 3 ports and no USB-A, and it's running a old like 8th gen, but it's not even an ultra low voltage. It's like a Core M processor, which is really, really low powered. So I want to say that the MacBook is probably the weakest out of the bunch here, just based on numbers of features and specs that you're getting. So not really good option here. Latitude, again, it's like the very similar to the XPS line, but not as good, and it's also more expensive. It's because it's the business version, so of course it's more expensive, but just based on that, I don't think it's a good deal. Dynabook, nothing really special about it. It's kind of like in the Fujitsu boat, where it's actually not as expensive as the Fujitsu, but nothing special to make it stand out really either. And of course my old Porsche Design Book 1, too heavy. Yeah, I mean, it has the detachable display option, but yeah, just too heavy, and it's kind of old-fashioned. It's got those massive bezels on it, so I wouldn't recommend that one either. And yeah, that's it. Let's look at the direct comparison video I'm going to do after this. Alright guys, now I have the HP Spectre x360 along with the Porsche Design Book 1. This is the laptop I reviewed just a few months ago, and I want to show you guys this comparison because They're both 13-inch, 360-degree convertible laptops. Now, look at the size difference between the two. I mean, the HP Spectre is just so much, look at that, like, it's so much smaller than the Porsche design, even though they're both 13-inch laptops, right? Both 13.3-inch displays, both 16:9 displays as well, the same aspect ratio. It's just that the HP Spectre, the bezels are so much smaller, right? Now the thinness is, I would say, they're not that much different on the high side, but because the HP Spectre tapers down, it's overall smaller. The volume is obviously lower than the Porsche design, whereas the Porsche design is uniform, as you can see, right? But the HP Spectre kind of has this tapering look to it. And yeah, I guess you guys can tell which one is the newer laptop. This one from late 2019, last year. This one from late 2017. So this one is about 2.5 years old now. Now I just want to show you guys the display comparison as well. Alright guys, so hopefully you can see the differences between the two displays better now. On the right you have the HP Spectre OLED display in 4K, and then on the left you have the Porsche Design Book 1 with the IPS display that is, I would say, almost 4K. It's not exactly 4K. It's 3200 by 1800, which is more like 3K, I want to say, where this one is full 4K. It's 3840 by 2160. And let's just turn the brightness up to full on both of these guys. This one only goes up to that, and it's not very different in my opinion. You can see like just how much brighter the HP Spectre gets, right? So I can turn this down all the way down. The lowest brightness on the HP Spectre looks almost better than the highest brightness on the IPS display of the Porsche design, which is really sad. And the bezels on this display as well. I mean, look at these gigantic bezels right at the bottom here, whereas the HP has a very minimal bezel here on the bottom. On the top, I mean, there is a tiny bezel because of the webcam that's there, but it's nothing compared to the gigantic bezel on the top of the Porsche design, right? So obviously huge difference in bezels here, which is why the HP Spectre is so much more compact despite having the exact same real estate, screen real estate, right? This is 13.3 inches diagonal, same as this one, but this one is so much more compact because the bezels are so much more smaller, right? So yeah, turn this back up to full. Again, this is the full brightness of this display, right? You can tell it's still kind of dim, whereas this OLED display just, wow, amazing. Now I'm going to turn the contrast down a little bit more so you guys can see a little more of the differences. Like this display is, you can just see how much better it is, right? There's no comparison, right? The brightness, the contrast of this OLED display is gorgeous, and it's really something I missed from the X1 Yoga that I had. I'm just going to say a few other things about this laptop is that the speakers, even though they're Bang & Olufsen speakers, you see here, Bang & Olufsen speakers, they're not very loud. I played a few music videos, you play some songs, played some YouTube videos. I'm not going to say the Porsche design is better in any way, because it's not. I'm just going to say that neither of these speakers are very good, and the HP Spectre is not any better than a typical 13-inch laptop. So don't buy this laptop if you're expecting any kind of good quality audio at all. But the display is mind-blowing. Obviously, it's one of the few laptops on the market with an OLED display. I think the Razer Blade might be the only other laptop on the market with an OLED display. I think the X1 Yoga used to be OLED, but now they switched to a Dolby Vision HDR display, which is still IPS. So I'm actually having a hard time thinking about which other laptops are on the market with an OLED. Alienware used to have the Alienware 13 with the OLED display, but I'm not sure if they still make that one. So again, not many laptops on the market with an OLED display. The HP Spectre is one of the few, and obviously much better than this regular IPS display on the Porsche design. So there's no comparison there. I can even flip it over to give a better comparison, actually. That's probably what I should have done. All right, there. So now you flipped over and you can see very, very clear, both on maximum brightness. You can see which one is clearly the better display out of these two. This is using a 4K wallpaper for both. This one is not exactly 4K, but again, it is high resolution still, right? 3200 by 1800 is still pretty high res. So yeah, we're just gonna leave this one to the side because we don't care about you anymore. Let's just look at this display, okay? And I'm gonna play a video. Alright guys, so I have a 4K music video to play for you guys on YouTube. It's a 4K 60 FPS Blackpink video for you K-pop fans out there. I'm not going to expand the video because the colors look weird for some reason if I do that on my iPhone. So I'm just going to play it like this. So hopefully you can see it. Just want to show off how good this display is. You can see the colors, contrast, saturation, right? Oh, I don't know why it does that. Okay. Anyways, yeah, the display just looks fantastic. The colors just pop out. It's so vibrant, and yeah, it's just an all-around fantastic display. One of the best displays I've ever seen. And I think one little weird thing is because the bezels here are so tiny, like my hand always ends up accidentally hitting the corner of these pages. And it's kind of a nuisance because yeah, like I'd accidentally scroll down sometimes when I just want to, you know, hold the laptop, but my hand is accidentally touching this display. So that's one problem of having smaller bezels, I think, is my hand accidentally gets in the way. And of course, one of the main problems with my X1 Yoga, and I think the main reason why I got rid of it was because the battery life wasn't very good. And on OLED displays, unfortunately, it does take up a lot of energy, so it's not going to be as efficient as an IPS display. So I have noticed that on the HP Spectre as well. So yeah, the battery life on this isn't going to be the best because it's a 4K OLED display. So if this was either lower resolution or just a standard display, it wouldn't take up as much battery life. But yeah, unfortunately, this is it is what it is. Hopefully in the future, OLED displays can improve on the efficiency. But for now, if you want the best display on the market, this is the price you have to pay. You have to take a hit in the battery life compartment. And but yeah, other than that, amazing display. What can I say? This is the best display on a laptop that you can get on the market right now. I think it's HDR. I'm not sure if exactly, like if it has the same P3 gamut coverage or whatever as the Dell XPS 13 2-in-1. That one is I think certified. That one's certified like HDR 400 or something like that. I'm not sure like what HDR certification this has. I'm not sure if it's Dolby Vision certified even, but I am sure that this display will meet most people's needs. So if you're in the market for a really good value laptop, very light, very functional, has a decent amount of ports including an USB-A, so you don't need to carry dongles or anything like that, and has probably the best display on the market, and is also very versatile, like convertible and everything to boot, and actually among the cheapest values that you can get at its feature set, right? Compared to other laptops with the same feature set, this one is better value. So yeah, if you're on the market for just a general all-around great laptop, great ultrabook, great computer, not just convertible, not just ultrabook, but just a great computer overall, then check out the HP Spectre x360. Yeah, I'm not endorsed by HP or anything. This is actually the first HP product I've owned since 2011, since I bought my Envy Beats Edition way back then. So it's not like I'm a huge HP fan or anything, but man, they did a really good job here. Man, props to HP. And this color and design as well, like love the color scheme, the gold and the blue, love the design, everything about it. Just they hit it out of the park. But one other thing I got to mention is it's a very glossy display. Yeah, if I had one gripe about the display is that it's really, really glossy. Yeah, so I can easily see my reflection in it, and I kind of wish that they would not have this display as glossy. Maybe just make like a matte version or something like that, or reduce the glare somehow, anti-glare or something. That's one gripe I have about it, but that's about it. And yeah, that's it, guys. That's the HP Spectre x360 late 2019 edition. Great laptop, great all-around computer. Pick it up. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching.